security world. Just how embarrassing is this for you as an American?
Well, it is a bit embarrassing. Thank you for having me on, but it's not something that we haven't seen before. It's happened before in the past. In fact, at 12 or 14 times, it had to go to more than 5 or 6 votes. At one time, there were 133 votes. It took 3 months to pick the Speaker of the House. So it's a little unusual, but it's not absolutely unheard of. I think what it shows you, however, is on the good side, these are people that are independent thinkers, and we need independent thinkers in the legislature. Everyone can't be in lockstep. On the bad side, it shows that perhaps we have leadership in one of the major parties that doesn't have the ability to bring everyone in, to rein everyone in. So it's not only the Republicans against the Democrats, now it's the Republicans against the Republicans. And that is a bit embarrassing.
But Bruce, don't you think this enduring gridlock has exposed long-term simmering tensions within the Republican Party?
I think it has. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding between what they're there to do and how they go about doing it. It is one of the world's most exclusive clubs. And over the years, we've seen a substantial degradation in what our Congress actually does. They don't really do their jobs anymore. They sort of just show up. The pandemic was the best thing ever for them because now they don't even have to entertain members of the public. I could go and speak with congressmen about various important issues. And now, not so much. The doors are closed because of the pandemic. So these are good times for them. It's not good times for how the country works, however. So I think it is. I think you're exactly correct. It is exposing long-term, deep-seated resentments and misunderstandings as to what they're doing there and why they're supposed to be there.
Bruce, now, if this gridlock, if this impasse continues, help us understand who is to gain.
Well, I think right now no one really is to gain. I think the Democrats are making a big deal about it, and I think the pundits and the Hollywood elite are having some fun with it, as though this shows that Republicans are substandard, subhuman species. I think who has to gain over time is anyone that wants to seize the middle ground and say, look, enough's enough. We can't have these far right agendas, these far left agendas. We somehow have to meet in the middle, and that's what they're supposed to be doing. I'll tell you one of the things that no one talks about, but one of the reasons I believe this is happening is a long time ago, Congress people used to have to stay in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. They used to have to live together. So when you live with someone, you spend time with them, you go out to dinner with them, you go out and get drinks with them, you learn to cooperate with them, whether they're your party or not. Whoever becomes the Speaker of the House, I've said for years, the first thing they should say is, we're working until 8 o'clock on Friday, and we're here at 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Make these guys stay in town, and ladies, so that they can start talking to each other and learn that they're human, so they can learn to get along. But that's a little bit Pollyanna-ish. It is a spectacle, and I know the entire world is looking at this and scratching their heads, but as you and I both know, that's not new for American politics either.
Indeed. Now, Bruce, this impasse is not really in the favor of President Biden, is it? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, no House Speaker means no legislation, and no legislation means the government is not functioning properly.
That's correct. Nothing can happen until the first thing they do is they pick the Speaker. Then the Speaker arranges the votes. They set their rules, and it has to happen anew each 2 years. So they have to pick the Speaker first, and then they can get down to business. They can select the committees. They can select who's the head of the committees. And by the way, that's part of what's going on here. Some of these newer Republican members think that if they hold out and stamp their feet like little children, like Veruca Salt, they can get what they want, and they can get the head of a committee, and that's just not going to happen. But until they get this done, nothing can happen in the government. And the Speaker of the House is very important because they're second in line after the Vice President in succession to the presidency, and they set the agenda, they set the tone, and they're the liaison between Congress, effectively, and the White House. So that's very important for the Biden administration. It's very important for the American people. And I'm hopeful you'll see some leadership from the Democrat side that may start trying to work with solving this impasse. And I think they have the key to doing that too.
All right, Bruce DelValle, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much for talking to us here on TRT World.